Hello everybody and welcome to a new log poker video. Today I'm here for you with 4 tables at NL100 on CoinPoker, and we are ready to start to play some hopefully good poker. Sorry in advance if you hear my voice weird, I just have a cold, so that's gonna be the reason. But on table 3 we open with pocket 7s, and usually we are also ready to call a 3-bet. This guy is short, he only had 35 blinds. I think if he shoved I would just call with pocket 7s. Would be borderline, some kind of bottom range. I would fold 6s, definitely call with 8s, so 7s is kind of in the middle. But he folds, and now the big blind is in the action. Let's see if he wants to play or not. He does 3-bet, and I am going to call in position with our pocket 7s. The flop is nice. If he bets, I think I'm just gonna call. Raising would be maybe an option sometimes. Maybe if I didn't have the 7 of clubs, I would raise sometimes. But he checks. Once he checks, I feel like we can go either ways. This time I'm going to bet with no info. If I knew he was a regular for sure, I would definitely check sometimes. But we don't have this info. So we go on table 1 with ace-jack suited, and we are going to place a cold forward this time. Of course we are bluffing, so if any of this guy raises again, we are done. If he calls, well, we have a playable hand at least. If he folds, we are happy. The flop is okay, I would say it's good for our range in general. Shouldn't call with many kings, and so I am going to bet here about 1/4 of the pot, I would say, is a good sizing here. I will keep firing at a high frequency. Of course, it depends on the turn, but he just shoves. Very weird line, but whatever. Let's go now on table 3 with ace-9 suited that we choose to open. And let's see what is gonna happen. We are typically not gonna call a 3-bet. We may sometimes 4-bet. However, this 3-bet is so small and is a recreational player that I think I have to call. It's still close because our hand is really bad. But even he's a recreational and that he made it small, I think we can call. That's an interesting flop. But let's go on table 1 where we open, and this flop hits. I'm gonna check back this time. I don't mind checking back. I'll draw like this one time to time. That's a pretty nice turn. If he bets, I think I might just raise. Even calling is fine with this kind of blockers. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a call this time. And if he bets river, depending on the size, we may call or raise. I think I'm going for the thin raise, to be honest. It's thin. We can get value from weaker 2 pairs. I don't think he's shoving as a bluff ever, anyway. So I think we can do it sometimes. Just calling would be totally fine as well, anyway. It's not that you are printing money. And when he does that, we just have to fold because, I mean, they're not bluffing this way. So that's totally fine for us to fold. Go back to table 3 where we have pocket kings and we go for the raise. And let's see if somebody else wants a 3-bet. That would be nice. Nope. So we go on table 2 with 3-bet in position versus the recreational player. Trying to ISO ourselves with him. But he shoves, and I would say ace-10 off is too weak to call here. So we move on to table 1 where we have king-jack. We may want to 3-bet sometimes. This time I'm gonna do it if one of these guys raises. Not a must, but however, they all fold, so we do raise first in. And let's see what's gonna happen now. If somebody 3-bets, could be an exploitative 4-bet if we think they're folding a lot to 4-bets, but we don't have this info so far, so I don't think I will just 4-bet here. Okay. Table 1 again, and now we have ace-9 suited, and we are going to raise first team, probably. Yes, we are. Okay. But this guy's 3-bets, and we cannot call a 3-bet with this hand. Out of position versus an unknown. Just gonna fold. King Jack, we open on table 1. Let me get the mic closer because I think you're gonna have a better audio. Okay. I hope. Okay, on table 1, I think I'm going to go for a c-bet here, given our decent blockers and chances to improve anyway. Have a couple of interesting hands in other tables as well, so I will go in the full screen. Ace queen suited and aces. We go to aces on table 3 and we absolutely 3-bet here. If he 4-bets, I'm just gonna call, I would say. Unluckily, nothing happens. Ace queen also, we get the knight. Table 1, kind of much here as played. I don't see him folding almost ever here. Maybe some random ace high, but I don't think it's folding enough for us to bluff this. Entry off, we fold. Jack 4 offsuit, also we are going to fold. Table deuce. I would say that if the small blind with the recreational opens, we are going to defend this. Otherwise, it's just a fold. But UTG raises, so we're done. Okay. Let's see what he got on table 3 now. 5 queen off. Not nice. This guy is AFK, so gonna have to wait a bit for some action. Table 1, we have ace-8 suited. We are definitely going to raise first in. Could also 3-bet sometimes, especially versus late position. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to 3-bet this time. If he 4-bets, we are obviously folding. But let's see. Thinking about it. And calls at the end. This flop hits. Can do many things. I would say c-betting is, as a standard, the best choice here. I don't hate the check. I would say it could be done sometimes with a hand like this. Table 3, we have instead ace king off. And we are ready to 4-bet. But let's see if they 3-bet us. Sorry for my voice, which is slowly abandoning me. Okay. Nothing here. Table 3, we have 5-6 suited, which is a hand which I would definitely open from here. Especially if I don't expect a lot of 3-bets. Might also 3-bet myself sometimes. But no, we are just going to raise first in. And it's also a hand which is quite difficult to dominate, so we may also choose to call a 3-bet sometimes with a hand like this. However, this flop hits, we are heads up. Just gonna bet the flop and reevaluate with our 6 high. Because 6 hits. I would say checking is fine. Check calling usually. Yeah, especially to this sizing. I don't think I have to bluff catch on this river if he bets. Nope. Let's go on table 4, where we called 4-bet this guy. Of course, we're we're kind of bluffing, so if he shoves, we just fold. And unluckily, that's what happens. Then we go on table 3 with a6 suited, and we do open. We're having quite a bad time in preflop so far in this session. And I'm gonna fold here. Go back to the action on all tables. Table 3, we have again ace-8 suited, and we are probably gonna play this unless there is a 3-bet preflop. Let's see. Let's see what this guy does. I think he might be a recreational player. I remember I saw him playing a very weird hand another time, but not completely sure again. Not yet, at least. And we're gonna call here on the big blind, and this flop hits pretty bad. I think check folding is the standard here. Unless he bets like one blind, stuff like this. Bit more, so we do fold, and check the use off also goes in the fold. Okay. I hope all the audio settings are okay, because I just came back from a trip and I was using my computer, my laptop, without the usual setting. So when I came back, I had to replug everything, and I hope everything is working fine. Looks like yes by the metrics, but who knows? I guess I will find out when I see the video again. I'm going to use this moment also to remind you that if you register to CoinPoker on our website, you will see the link on the description. You can get for free our preflop chart for CoinPoker. As you see, the games are with ante and 7max, so it's a bit of an atypical game. Thought might be nice for you to have also those ranges. Gonna call here versus the cutoff to this sizing, and we are gonna see post flop what to do. Check calling or check raising. They're both options which I would consider here. Maybe check calling this time. I could do both again. I wouldn't hate it. And let's check this. And if he bets, sometimes check raising I would say is an option, but he checked back weakly, and we shouldn't value. I think I'm just gonna check. Anyway, I don't think he's gonna fold much if he has better than me. So let's hope he has ace high and gets to showdown, which is probably what happened right there. Ace 4 suited. I think I'm gonna 3-bet this one. Somebody else opens, of course. UTG +1 does that, and we are gonna 3-bet. In a very aggressive flow, we could also use this as a 5-bet bluff. Not sure he is a regular. He could be actually, as in all tables. So, well, I think I'm gonna shove as a bluff if he 4-bet this time. And good luck to us. We had to do it sometimes, of course. And it succeeded. That's it. We go on table 2 with 8 unsuited. Sometimes I'm gonna 3-bet this one. And this is one of those times, as you can guess. We are not calling a 4-bet if it happens, of course. But he just folds, which is okay. Pocket 7s on table 3. And I think we are going to raise first in. This guy is using the time bank. I've seen him playing some heads ups, so maybe he's lost in the action. Or maybe he just disconnected. Who knows? He opens. I'm going to 3-bet this time with pocket 7s. I would say is an option. As folding, I would not call unless I knew that there was a big blind recreational player. If he 4-bet, I'm just gonna fold pocket 7s unless he makes a mistake in the sizing of the 4-bet, of course. Like, if you make it 16, I'm gonna call, of course. But not this time, it works. Seven and suited and 10-5 off, we do fold. Okay. Three 7 off suite. Not gonna play this one, but we are probably gonna play this ace 4 suited on table 4. Ready to 3-bet. And we are 3-betting this guy. Again, a hand we may sometimes 5-bet shove as a bluff if we know our opponent is a regular. I don't know about this guy. I don't think he is. Oh, he's playing all tables, so would be an option. But let's go on table 2, where we try to ISO with this recreational player. And when I ISO versus somebody who is so short, I'm gonna use a sizing like this. Because if he shoves, I want to fold still. But let's go on table 4, where we 3-bet with pocket kings. This guy was fairly active so far. But still, if he 4-bets, I'm just gonna shove. I would call with aces, but I would say with kings more often than not, unless we have a clear exploit, which we'll rarely have on CoinPoker. We're just gonna shove here. Thinking about it, which is weird because when you 4-bet, you should know what to do when I shove. Okay. Could have waited a bit more. I maybe had a bit of a timing tell there. But I'm also shoving quite quick, so as a bluff, so maybe yes, maybe no. Ace queen off on table 1. We are definitely going to 3-bet this one if somebody raise first. If not, we are raising first. And on the button, we can also call this one. I wouldn't mind nor calling a 3-bet or 4-betting as a bluff. I like both lines. Gonna call this time if they 3-bet. Thinking about it. Okay, and he calls, and we are going to see bet this flop, of course. I would say we could also sometimes call a raise if we know our opponent is aggressive. Or even it would be interesting to place a 3-bet there sometimes. But not this time, not the case. So we go with queen 10 off on table 2. We are definitely going to call if late position opens, or small blind. Hopefully small blind. If small blind opens, we can also 3-bet sometimes, I would say. Even button we can 3-bet sometimes. And I think I'm gonna 3-bet this time. I would say not 3-betting enough on the big blind is one of the biggest leaks people have, because it's so easy to call that sometimes we forget we should 3-bet a lot also. We 4-bet this time and we just fold, but we go on table 1 with king queen, and we do open. See what I do. Small blind folds, but big blind calls, and we have a decent flop. In theory, this board could also be overbet or check, but I think with no info on my opponent, I would probably just go for a small bet. Again, not what GTO would necessarily be here, but I don't mind playing this way. I think it's way more difficult to play well against an unbalanced 1/3 bet than versus a balanced overbet or check range. Because I think it's important to understand that it's not only important how to make ourselves the correct play, but it's also important to choose the lines which make our opponent's life the most miserable, which sometimes we forget. Ace queen, we open on table 2 and we get the blinds, but whatever. Okay. King 8 offsuit. Might call or 3-bet versus the small blind. Same versus the bottom, could be some kind of bottom range to do all the stuff. Versus a 2x, I think I'm just gonna call on the big blind. And that's an interesting flop. I would say check calling the flop is the most standard line here. And that's what I'm gonna do. He bets, we check call, we'll see on the turn if we can continue. We have many interesting turns, and this is one of them. We check. Leading out would be an option, absolutely. It's a card which is nice to lead out. And on this river, I'm just going to polarize myself because, you know, either we have a busted draw or we have an 8 here if we overbet. And that's exactly the range I want my opponent to put me on. So we overbet, but unluckily he didn't have much. We fold, the 10 deuce suited, 2-3 off. Also, of course, we may choose to open on table 1, ace-7 off if everybody else folds. But let's see. No, UTG opens, so our dream is done. Well, will be anyway a shitty board, so I don't mind. 3-4 suited, bah. Borderline, I would say opening it is an option if you want. Everybody else folds, of course. It's one of those borderline hands that if you fold, I don't think it's much of a mistake anyway. I would say the more unconfident you are on your out of position play, the more you should fold hands like this, which is our bottom range to raise first in small blind. That's an interesting flop. I will start with a check call this time. We can do many things. I would say check calling is one of them. Checks back. The 8 of hearts is kind of a bad card. It helps a lot, it's checking back range, but also it's gonna make my life miserable on so many rivers that I think I just have to check fold here, unless he bets 2 blinds maybe. But let's go for a check back. If he has ace high, maybe sometimes he's going to go for the check back. The six of diamond is not bad. I think if he had a flush draw, he would have bet flop or turn very frequently. And also if he had a very nice value hand, I think he would have betted before. So doesn't have much to bet on this river unless he has 7-9 and played it this way, or maybe some weird queen. But he got the 6, so too bad. We go on table 3 with pocket fives that we open. And we get a call from the small blind, who should be a recreational player. Most likely, I'm not sure about that. We are going to see it. Okay. But let's go on table 1 instead with pocket aces that we open. And we are going to forward, of course, if we receive a 3-bet. Let's see what this guy does. Let's hope. Even calling sometimes, especially versus big blind, who has a polarized range, could be a decent option sometimes. He just calls, and on this flop, I'm going to c-bet. Of course, we can do many things. I would say checking back is also sometimes an option. Maybe I would do it a bit more if I had the ace of spades. And now we just have to call. I don't think we can do much else on the flop. The turn, quite of a blank card to be honest, and I am going to call even here if he bets again. He orbits, which is quite standard here for a sizing. I expect a shove on the river. I'm gonna call here and call many rivers. The king also I would say is gonna be a call. Doesn't change too much. Ace jack got there, but I don't think he has ace jack that much. Now, can we value bet? I don't see him calling from behind. Maybe he would call queen jack if he is a calling station or sort of, but we don't know that. Just gonna check back. And he had a draw, so that's sweet. Okay. No action here. We just fold. We go on table 3 now with pocket aces, which we hope to 3-bet. And if they 4-bet us, I think I'm gonna call only. Let's see, we have a raise first in from what we believe is a recreational player. And let's see if he 4-bets. It would be nice. Of course, if he makes it huge, like 30 blinds, just gonna shove, but if he makes a regular sizing, that would be interesting. Now, he just calls, and given he is a recreational player, I'm just gonna bet big here for team value. There are a lot of things that, even if we have the ace of spades, there are a lot of things that are still going to call us. And of course, we are not gonna fold versus somebody who could easily overplay many things. The ace, of course, is nice because we have the nuts right now, but it's also bad because it's going to be a bit more difficult to get value from mid pairs that he could have. But I will still bet big because there are a lot of draws out here, and either he could have them or he could think I have them and not fold the queen. So I'm just going to bet big again. And of course, calling if he shoves. But yeah, the ace was a pretty bad card. But I think it's important there to bet big because I think we can still get action at this point. Okay, back to the tables and let's see. Gonna play for about 15 minutes more. I think that's what my voice is going to allow me to do. Difficult more than that. 5-9 off, we just fold. And table 2, we have pocket sevens, and we are going to raise this one. Or 3-bet sometimes, and this time we are going to 3-bet. Let's see if we can get some action, hopefully a passive action, because if they 4-bet, we are just going to fold. But unluckily, we get aggressive action from this guy who we don't know. I'm not even sure I ever seen this guy before, so just gonna fold. If we had a very aggressive flow, we know this guy a lot, we're regulars and we do this stuff a lot, well, I would say shoving sometimes there is an option. But we are not there yet, so I would say folding would be our best choice. Queen 5 off, we just fold. Nothing here. So to get in table 4, we get Jack 9 off. Not playable at all. So we will just go for default. In the meantime, I will try my temperature because I'm also starting feeling dizzy. Not probably the best way to play poker, but why not? Okay, should be fine, hopefully. Jokes apart, I mean, I'm playing right now because it's the only time I have time this week probably to create content, so I kind of have to play. But if you're free to grind where you can, wherever you want, let's say you are managing your time as a professional poker player, do not play when you're sick. Like, it's really bad. Again, I'm doing it because the goal of me playing now is creating some content for YouTube. That's the goal, not making the maximum amount of EV bibbons per 100 I could make. but yeah, if you are playing for as a profession or as a part-time job, stuff like this, try to not play when you're sick or when you're not in a good mood or stuff like this. It's really bad usually. Which is our situation? Oh, not bad. 37, could be worse. Table 3, we are going to open. 37 Celsius, I don't know for our friends, American friends, what would be the standard human temperature in Fahrenheit, use? Yeah. Okay, Jack, nothing to do. We go on table 2 with Queen 10 suited, and we open. Right now. We normally cannot call a 3-bet with his hand. It's quite a bad hand, and UTG especially, we have much better things to call with. And that's why I'm gonna fold here, as I mentioned. Table 4, we have 7-8 offsuit, and my plan was to fold versus late position, but he made it 2x, and I think in a 2x with ante at the table, I think I have to call here. Not the best flop ever. It's also gonna be difficult for me to check raise because I don't have ace queen. I don't have, at least not always, don't have aces, queens. Queen 6, ace 6, and 6 is my only real value hand here. It's interesting that this turn hits, and it's also interesting, to be honest, that he didn't c-bet. He shouldn't c-bet any 2 cards, of course, here. I think it's gonna have a lot of mid-value range, but I don't think it's gonna fold a lot. I'm just gonna check. Once he checks back, I think I may sometimes overbet bluff here because I can have a 6. Why not? I can have a flush. And I think he has a lot of mid-value hands, so that's why I chose to go for this. He had a mid-value hand, but one of the good ones, so I wasn't expecting to fold that specifically. But I wasn't targeting that. I was targeting more medium pairs like jacks, 10s, 9s, maybe queen x sometimes. Okay, we fold all this stuff. And on table 1 we have ace, jack, offsuit, a hand that we are definitely going to 3-bet, or we are going to raise first in this case. I'm not in love with calling 3-bets. Maybe I could with a small blind since he's a bit of a recreational player. I wouldn't call versus the big blind. I would probably 4-bet. And he just calls. I think I'm gonna c-bet this flop. We've seen him being aggressive, but still we have decent blockers here for whatever he could raise. I'm not even sure I would call a raise here because, again, we block a lot of what he could raise as a bluff. So I think we can fold this specific combo. I would call quite wide because, again, we've seen him check raising aggressively, but I would try to have good blockers or fold early in the hand. Okay. Table 3, we have pocket tens from UTG, and we are going to open. It's also a hand that we can usually, with which we can usually call a 3-bet with. This guy called calls, which is weird from the cutoff. Maybe some kind of recreational player. Even if he has the Twitch logo, which makes me think he is maybe streaming, who knows, but let's see. Doesn't mean much, to be honest. This guy squeezes. Doesn't make it huge, and he's a recreational. I think I'm gonna call. Still close, of course. That's a nice flop. Yes, could be dangerous. Seriously dangerous. But it's gonna be very difficult for us to save ourselves, given this guy is also probably a recreational player. So if we are behind, we need some luck to save ourselves. But he checks. I would still bet. Not even small given the players in the pot. Now, let's presume this guy checks shoves. That would be super sick if he checks shoves. Can we ever fold? I'm not sure we can, just because there are chances, clear chances this guy may overplay something like ace-king, ace-queen, maybe even ace-jack. So I don't think we can bet fold versus somebody who probably is a recreational player. And I'm gonna bet call as well on the turn. Could we just shove, maybe? I think if I shove... I mean, if he has a decent ace, I think he's probably gonna call anyway. Ace-king, ace-queen. So, yeah, just gonna shove. Because I think if he has kings or queens, he's gonna fold anyway on the turn, even if he bets small. And if he has an ace, a decent ace, I don't think he's gonna fold anyway. So why to bet small? I don't get any extra value by betting small. Or at least I don't think. But, yeah, that was an interesting spot. Now, on table 2, we go for the 3-bet with ace-10 off. In position, it's a bit loose. If you want, I would definitely do it versus a recreational player, but I'm not sure this guy is. See what he does. He just calls, and we flop a nice flop all in all. And I'm gonna c-bet on the flop. Something like this with no info. If he is a recreational, he may have all kind of ace-x, of course. And I think with no info, it's safer to bet twice and check back river probably here. With no info, it's not, of course, a standard line. But I think it's gonna work fine enough. I don't think he's gonna raise enough as a bluff, so it's gonna be a bet fold anyway. And check back river unless we hit 10, that we don't. We split with his jack as queen. Do we invalidate here ever? We could, sometimes. Given it's so unlikely he has us beat. Something like this, hoping he calls with a king maybe. If he's a bit stubborn. We don't know again who this guy is. He may be a recreational player. And he has a queen split, that's fine. Table 2, we bet the flop and we check this turn. So, I think I'm gonna check call here. It doesn't have too many kings in his range. He has some, of course, but I think we have to check call here. Maybe tilted from the previous hand as well, our opponent. I don't see us folding here. This river sucks though. We may be folding here. He doesn't have that many pure bluffs at this point. Some, of course, but not that many on a queen. So I think I'm gonna fold if he shoves. Super sick. And we do fold. On table 4, we are gonna c-bet after squeezing with our gut shot. Quickly calls, 7 hits. Shouldn't have that many 7s, our opponent, to be honest. And I am just gonna continue fighting here. Quickly called, but I'm gonna shove the river as well with 9 high. Nothing much to do, if not this. Unlucky, I think he has a jack. Yeah. And this is recreational because he shouldn't have queen jack there. But yeah, don't expect him to fold that. Too bad. Too bad, too bad, too bad. I don't mind the line though. I think with 9 high, that's quite fine. Table 3, we have ace jack off. We do open now. May 4-bet sometimes versus the big blind or call. They're both fine options, I would say. Gonna 4-bet this time. Yeah. If he shoves, we are obviously folding. And he shoves. Oh my god. Not the end of the session we were hoping for, but I think I played okay. Just hit some quite bad timing. Gonna play for a couple of minutes more and we will be done with this suffering, physical and mental. Okay. Can't really sit out next big blind because if not, we won't be able to sit out. Okay, table 1 we are sitting out. Table 4 as well, I would say. We are in table 2 and table 3. Table 2, we can open this one on the button. Okay. Gonna fold this. Okay, we are left with table 2 in the last 2 hands. One we fold, Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this session. I mean, there were some interesting spots, at least a couple. Wasn't the luckiest again, but I don't think I made many huge mistakes given the field, given everything. But if you have any comment on handy played or question or whatever, please feel free to ask. Also, keep in mind that if you want to play on CoinPoker, you can get for free on our website the chart to play these Max tables with Anti. You can find the link in the description. And also that could be a good opportunity to check out our website, which is new, and you can see our coaches and soon courses as well. So if you're into learning poker, well, loseaggressive.com is where you want to be. And now I think we are gonna be playing our last hand. Okay. Okay. And it is a beautiful 5-8 offsuit. Not bad. Okay, guys, then thanks for watching. It was a pleasure to play for you. See you next time. Bye.